clockwise, which is going to be money, places, items, material things, whatever, tangible objects. It doesn't. Okay? Harmony with yourself comes from yourself premise by your heartbeat, and this is called heart arrhythmia. And arrhythmia comes from the word rhythm, which means the rhythm of your heart is out of tune. So you can actually understand anxiety, anger, etc. In the lower compression,
more knowledge that you got it, gang. It's gonna hurt my nigga. R.I.P. Dr. Say. I think they murked my nigga. I beat stars like astrology. Yeah. We hit the club and demolish it. Yeah. That jury shine like Apollo. Okay. Plugged in like a fire stick. R.I.P. Malcolm.
Peace, family. This video right here is about the science of living in harmony with oneself in all things. And before we jump in, we have to give the definition of harmony so that we can understand the information that's going to be the template of the information distributed in this video. Now, the definition of harmony, okay, is a conglomerate of musical notes which produce a pleasing effect, okay? So when something's in harmony and in tune, it's pleasing. When it's out of harmony and out of tune, it's displeasing, okay? aka lower frequency. Now, with that being said, okay, we have to understand the science of sound. And we're going to be jumping into how your individual sound, aka expression, can become chaos or a positive manifestational tool in your life, okay? And so your reality reflects the symphony of the soul. So the song that your soul is singing is reflective in your reality, okay? And so if you got a chaotic tune inside you, you got a chaotic reality. But let me break down the science of sound and then go into what I'm going to go into. Now, sound is produced, as we all know, by vibration, okay? Now, the original form of sound, which created physical reality, is the sun, which was created by radio waves. You know, the definition of radio wave is electromagnetic signals, specifically those carrying sound messages, okay? And so the sun technically is a voice, okay? It speaks to all physical things. Now, when we're talking about our inner sun, aka our heart chakra, soul is short for solar system. A person is someone that's a percentage of the sun, okay? This is where you produce your own individual solar system. Your individual life is your personal life is your individual solar system. And just like the planets have a symphony of the spheres, which they actually give off a musical tune due to their orbit around the sun, okay? Your personal life and the people, places, and things in your life, that's your symphony of your spheres, okay? Now let's break this down to a science before I go back into that. Now, sound is produced by vibration. And sound is carried by particles, okay? You got atoms, molecules, particles, okay? Now, particles carry sound. This is very important. So when you're able to hear sound, it's because it's vibrating particles so extremely, okay, that the frequency is being picked up through the eardrum and conducted by the bones in what is called bone conduction, okay? So sound is carried through three forms of physicality, being solid, liquid, gas. Now, sound particles travel faster through solid, slower through liquid, and even slower through gas. And we understand that our body is made up of solids, liquids, and gases. So y'all see where I'm going with this. Now what's happening is, also with sound, okay, it travels in any direction. So sound, it's like if you know the science of the flower of life, when it says consciousness pushed itself out in all directions and then magnetically attracted back to itself to create a perfect sphere. Okay, that's the science of electromagnetism, aka sound waves, okay? And so sound waves are carried by particles, okay? Now, the more higher the frequency, okay, it's called compression. So if you ever see because sound travels in what you call longitudinal waveforms, which is straight, okay? And then once it gets in contact with the particles, it becomes what you call a transverse wave, where we can measure it, where it looks like squiggly lines. And so the lines at the top is where the atoms are most compressed. Okay, now that's where you got the most vibration. Okay, and then the lines at the bottom is called where it's the most uncompressed, and where the atoms are most separated, and where the vibration and the pressure is at a lower volume. And so the higher amount of compression for you may be anxiety, anger, etc. And the lower compression, okay, might be depression or sadness. So you want to be balanced in what is called a sinusoidal wave, okay? Because a transverse wave could be uneven. The top waves could be way up here and the bottom waves could be way down here. So when they say everybody's born in sin, you're talking about balance, sinusoidal waves, where your wavelength is equal. And then what happens in your life, whether you get raped, molested, beat, traumatized, you watch stuff on TV, this is throwing you out of frequency. And so now why is this important? I did a PAU, Farrell Otten University, where I be at the whiteboard, where I did a video called Heart Rate Frequency. Go watch that video because some of that information ties into this. And so what's happening is, as your electromagnetic field, aka your biofield, aka your aura, is being produced, okay, and powered electromagnetically by your heart beat, okay, just like you beat a drum, okay, it's being powered by your heartbeat, okay. What's happening is you're emitting sound, aka electromagnetism, in all directions. And what's happening is you're altering the particles in your immediate circumference, and your immediate perimeter, and your immediate personal life and where you exist. And so now why is it important? We're talking about things being in harmony, okay? And how, in the science of being in harmony, not only with yourself, but with your environment. So let me give you an example. If I'm depressed and I'm at a low level of vibration, okay, and I'm sad, or I'm angry, or I'm a hater, or whatever negative frequency I got, I'm out of tune, okay? I'm out of tune with my own soul. I'm out of balance, okay, with my own frequency and vibration, okay? And the frequency is just the number of electromagnetic waves, okay, measured at a particular point each second. And that goes into hertz and megahertz and kilohertz and gigahertz and terahertz, etc., okay? And so that being said, your frequency is out of tune, okay? And you can tell your frequency is out of tune by your heartbeat. And this is called heart arrhythmia. And arrhythmia comes from the word rhythm, which means the rhythm of your heart is out of tune. So you can actually understand how even in the medical field, in medical science, your health is measured by your anatomy's ability to be in harmony with itself. That's why even people that's not mentally healthy, they say this is not a sound person, okay? And so music is the voice of the universe on all levels. But let's come back here. Okay, let's come back here. Let's say I'm out of tune for whatever reason I'm feeling, right? And I come into a place where, let's say these people doing yoga, these people peaceful, these people minding their business, and I come in here with this negative energy. Since I'm not in harmony with myself, okay, I'm going to come into their environment and I'm going to turn their particles chaotic, okay? Because remember, your body is emitting electromagnetism. It's emitting sound. And sound can not only be heard, it can be felt. Because remember, sound reverberates and ushers this way through solids, liquids, and gases. And so this is why when people are negative or positive, you can feel it. This is why you can feel emotion. Somebody can come in the room and not say nothing, and you can get a bad feeling about this person, and then something come up missing, you be like, I knew I had a bad feeling. That's because you felt this person's sound. Just like when you in a car, you feel that bass. When you in a club, you feel that bass. When you play in a band, you feel that bass. Okay? You can feel this person's frequency. Okay? Animals do it all the time. Okay? And so that being said, you can feel this person's sound. You can feel this person's vibration. Okay? So you can not only hear sound, you can feel it in your bones. It's called bone conduction. Okay? So just like sound, just like when somebody scream and they shatter a glass, okay? Because the sound wave is disproporting the particles of the glass so much that it literally separates the particles of making the glass appear to be shattered. People can do that to you. Somebody can come into your life and you pick up on their pitch so much that it alters your physical reality. Because remember, physical reality is made up of particles. And this is called sonic geometry, sonic sound geometry. When you create certain pitches or certain frequencies or certain octaves of sound, particles actually take certain shapes. But that's another science for another time. I did an entire lecture on that called The Science of Alchemy and Sacred Geometry. That lecture is on my website, youngfarrell.net. The link is in the description. So I'm not going to go into that. But with that being said, let's come back here. Boom. Let's say I come into a place where people live in harmony. They doing what they do, minding their business. And they frequency is harmonious. And then I come in here with my unharmonious frequency and I alter their reality through my emotions, aka energy in motion. So now it's like what the equivalent of introducing a negative person into a positive environment would be we all in a band and we playing music, and then you just jump on stage and start going and you all off note. Now if you wouldn't go to a concert or an orchestra where that happens, Why would you introduce people into your life where that happens? If your life is harmonious and you harmonious one way, why would you introduce somebody in your life that's not harmonious with they self? Because if they not harmonious with they self, they can't be harmonious with all things. See? And harmony with yourself does not come from outside mediums, whether it be money, places, items, material things, whatever, tangible objects. It doesn't. Okay? Harmony with yourself comes from your self premise, understanding, and philosophy and view upon your own self from your own perspective. So if a person is not happy with themselves, if a person is miserable with themselves, if a person can't get over past experiences or trauma, if a person blames the world and doesn't take responsibility for themselves, if this person is negative, depressed, or overzealous or over anxious in any type of way, and they the furthest away from balance, whether it be a too much frequency or a too low frequency, why would you introduce them into your harmonious solar system? Why would you introduce them into your band if they out of tune? Why would you introduce this person into your life? And so this is the science of becoming this is the science of actually living in harmony with yourself in all things. It's the tune and the pitch starts right here with the heart chakra. And then you take that pitch, once you get it corrected, out into the world and add on to other songs that's already going on. So it's like making a beat. Life should be like making a beat. You get one sound, you get your drums, your bass line, then you get your snares, and then somebody else come on and they add something. Then somebody else come on and they add something. And next thing you know, y'all got a fire song going on. That's how life should be. Okay, I'm doing this and I'm the bass line. Boom, boom. And then this person come in and they the snares. Oh, now we really jumping. And then this person come in and they got a little saxophone. And this person come in, they got a little piano. And next thing you know, we got a whole symphony going on in life. Okay? Life shouldn't be, oh, I got a drum and I got a snare, and then this person just come in my life and just fuck my whole life song up with the and a lot of the times, you can't even be mad at them because you the one that added them to your band. And so that being said, this don't go just for human, this go for all things. Animals, buildings, okay? You know how many people build nice shit? And the frequency in the song is so nice. And it's like, damn, this is a nice ass building somebody built. And the song is just like, fa la la. And then here come this fucking demonic ass frequency, no harmony, out of tune ass person just come spray paint and vandalize the shit. Here, the animals, minding their business, living in the forest, living in frequency, Bambi and shit, Snow White and shit, and it's fa la la la. And then here come these motherfuckers with the trucks, all out of frequency, all out of tune with nature, and just mow the whole goddamn forest down. And so with that being said, family, life should be a symphony. It should be a song. Think of it like that. Just like they say life is a dance, okay? You got the song, which is what you want to do in life. You got the dance, which is how you're going to do it. And then you got the dancer, which is you. Now, the only funny thing about life is you the one who wrote the song, you the one who made the dance, and you the dancer who got to dance the dance, okay? So you don't bring nobody into your life, okay, who not only don't got their own song, but can't even compliment you in the one you wrote, okay? So life ain't about somebody converting all the way to your song. Life ain't about you converting all the way to their song. Life is about y'all sampling each other's songs, taking each other dance, and creating a whole new dance. And then y'all meet somebody else, and y'all create a whole new dance. And then all y'all meet somebody else, and y'all create a whole new dance, just like in real life. Just like how music goes in real life. People sample things all the time, remix things all the time. That's how life should be, okay? So with that being said, understand the science of not just sound, family, but how you actually are modifying particles. So if you in your house mad and you miserable, your anatomic reality is literally reconstructing that, okay, to present that reality to you. And that's also a part of what's called biophotons. And I did a video on that called biophotons. Go watch that. And so that being said, watch this video, biophotons, okay, and heart rate frequency, and you should have a complete understanding of where I'm going with this. But with that being said, family, we have to get in tune with all things. And the only way you get in tune with all things is if you get in tune with yourself. If your song is peaceful and your mind is peaceful, when you go out in the world you're going to interact with all things peaceful. When I go in the world, I don't want to be destructional. I don't just knock stuff over. I don't just be rude. If I drop something, I pick it up. If I see somebody else drop something, I might not even tell them. I might just put it in the trash for them because I know you're out of tune, but I'm in tune. And I don't need to even tell you that you're out of tune because as I come in, we're going to fix the frequency while I'm here. And when I leave, if it go back, it go back. But while I'm here, the note going to be played harmoniously. And so that being said, family, we have to get in tune with ourselves and become sound with ourselves. And the only way that you're going to become sound with yourself is when you become sound in your mind. And the only way you become sound in your mind is when you become sound in your heart. And I did a video on that called neurocardiology, on how your heart has brain tissues, brain cells, it has the ability to not only remember but to think. And your heart actually sends signals to your brain. So you have 3 brains in your body. You got your heart, then you got your brain in your skull, and then you have your gastrointestinal tract, which is called neurogastroenterology, which is about how you have brain cells in your gastrointestinal tract, aka your gut. This is why they say go with your gut feeling. So your gastrointestinal tract is your brain for your stomach. Your heart is your brain in your skull is your brain for your nervous system, and your heart is your brain that controls the skull, your heart is your brain which controls the brain in your skull, and your brain in your skull is the brain that controls the rest of the body. So your heart is actually your primary means of thinking. Your brain is just a processor. And so that being said, when you get sound in your heart and you get peaceful in your heart, you get peaceful in your mind. In the way that you get peaceful in your heart, I did a video on this, on how to reach spiritual enlightenment. And you have to choose what is called the middle way. I'm not against things. I'm not for things either. I'm just for what's righteous, aka what's right. Okay? We know what's right by mathematics, which is a universal language. Things that are formed in a right angle. Because everything in the universe is formed from what you call 1.618, aka the golden spiral, aka the Fibonacci sequence 1.618, and that spiral can be measured at from a right angle. And so it always multiplies itself by 1.618, which is a right angle, and it spins, aka ascends, clockwise, which is going towards what you call the direction of what we call right. So that's why we call it righteousness, doing the right thing. When things are wrong or something's going downwards, it's going in the left direction. That's why when somebody do something wrong, we say you're going way left. And so we measure being righteous by doing things that we know the universe intended for us to do. And when we're in tune with the universe, we're in harmony with the creator, and we're a part of the intergalactic song that we all was meant to be playing. So when the universe said, here goes apples and fruits, and we all was like, do-do-dum, everybody eat for free. Do-do-dum, everybody eat for free. And then here comes some random asshole who said, fuck this song, I'm making my own song up, and y'all gonna pay me to eat food that I didn't even put here, because the same intelligent consciousness that put this food here put me here too. But I'm gonna override all of y'all and deem myself more important than y'all, okay? And tell y'all that y'all can't have some shit that came from somebody, that came from a consciousness that put me here too. And so that's what's going on in the world right now. Everybody trying to play their own motherfucking song and play their own motherfucking tune when there already was a universal tune laid out that we supposed to be adding on to, not trying to override. And so the universe is already just doing this. And all the universe is asking you to do is come add on something else, nigga. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. And then somebody else come add on to that, ba-boom. And we all make a song together. But no, because some of you motherfuckers, this ain't enough. This ain't enough. Some of you niggas want to stop and y'all want to make it. And you want to have your own layer. You want to have your own musical layer and instrument on the track. When nigga, that's not how this shit work, okay? The universe is the foundation. We just build on that foundation. You don't usurp the fucking universe and try to make yourself the foundation. So religion and all of this shit and all of these corporations and money and all of this dumbass shit, that's all usurping the foundation of the universe. And motherfuckers is trying to get you to play to their tune when the universe already set a tune out there that's for you to add on to. And so that being said, family, when you get in tune with yourself and you realize that your self-tune is in synchronization with the universe, you add on to that, and you only add people into your life who is adding on to that, because by adding on to that, they're adding on to you because you're in tune with that, and they are too. So they're adding on to themselves as well as you, and you're doing the same, vice versa. And so physical reality is started at 432 terahertz, okay? And that's 1 terahertz is an electromagnetic wave passing through a point 1 trillion times per second. So when an electromagnetic wave passes through a point 432 trillion times every 1 second, okay, that would be 432 terahertz. That's when physical reality is actually created. And so this is when the color red is produced. 432 also happens to be what you call the love frequency. And the reason I'm going to this is because I'm finna drop a jewel. In 1939, the British Standards Institute, okay, which is owned by the Rothschilds, actually switched the standard musical frequency from 432 hertz to 440 hertz, which is known as the devil's interval, because it puts everybody out of tune. And if you actually play this tune inside of water, if you play 432 hertz frequency inside the water, you can see to the bottom of the water. But if you play 440 hertz, which inside of what is called musicology is literally called the devil's interval, it distorts the water. So even sound right now, when you listen to stuff on the radio, you listen to stuff on the TV, your body, your gas, liquid, and solid self, your particles is being distorted. You're made up of 85% water, okay? You being taken out of tune by the tunes you listen to, okay? Because you're not even listening to it on a frequency where it passes through your physical being the way that the universe intended it to. Now it's distorting you as you listen to it. And what happens is, what it does is it suppresses, okay, the left and right hemispheres of your brain. So this is how when you listen to music now, and music tells you to do something negative, you don't process it as negative because your consciousness is literally being suppressed. And this is called the militarization of music. So this is why people love artists like Michael Jackson and Prince, because Michael Jackson and Prince played their music at 432 terahertz. This is why when Michael Jackson and Prince come on the stage, people cry and go crazy. Nobody cry when rappers come on the stage because it's a different kind of love. It's an egotistical love. It's not a spiritual love. People went crazy for Michael Jackson. Nobody goes crazy for Young Thug. They don't do that. And so that being said, this is why you can listen to music that say pop a pill and I'm thinking about suicide, and you think that that's cool because you're not spiritually listening to it, because it's not traveling through your spirit purely for you to digest it consciously. It's rattling you and distorting you, and only your egotistical self can process the lyrics, aka information, in your being. And so that being said, family, you have to get rid of everything out of your life that is distorting you. Environments distort you. People distort you. Things distort you. Images distort you. Anything that emits a frequency, okay, that can be digested by you because you're a physical being, gas, liquid, and solid, can distort you if it's not of pure love. And the way that it comes from pure love is it has to come from a pure intention from somebody's heart. This is why they spend trillions of dollars subliminally putting things in commercials, because they're getting to you. Okay, they're getting to the intent of your heart. They're distorting your frequency so that everything that you want is something that takes you out of harmony with that which is natural. And so that being said, take an evaluation of your life and say, what's actually distorting me? What's actually not pure? Which one of these people actually get on my nerves? Which one of these places do I actually not like to go? What in my life right now is actually stopping me from being in tune and playing the song that I want to play instead of somebody else having me trying to play their song? And once you identify those things, eliminate those things, reposition yourself back in the tune with the creator, okay? And build with the creator, and then only allow people, places, and things, whether it be people, animals, statues, pictures, music, or whatever, into your life that are in tune and building upon the original foundation of musical notes and sound octaves of the universe that was originally set there. And the original intent and sound of the universe is righteousness, doing the right things at the right times. Circumstances change, times change, the way you handle things change. But your intent, aka to do things out of pure love, that will never change. So things ain't the way they used to be no more. Things ain't free. Things cost money. But me trying to make sure that you have a positive time around me, that frequency has been here since people have been here. Making somebody laugh and smile, that's been here since people have been here. Sharing with somebody that's in need, that's been here since people have been here. So these are the tunes that people need to be on. And these tunes are called virtues, morals, ethics, etc. And once we get back in tune with these things and allow people in our lives that are in tune with these things, now we can play the symphony of the universe and allow the creator to be our orchestrator and we be the choir or whatever you call it. And with that being said, family, this video right here, once again, is the science of living in harmony with oneself as well as all things. And I hope that this video has gave you an understanding, not just scientifically, to the importance of how sound operates and is created and travels, but how sound is created by yourself, operates outside as well as with through you, as well as through you and with other things. And I want to say this before I go. When people say what goes around comes around, they're talking electromagnetically, okay? Because remember, sound bounces back and it's called an echo, okay? So you got to remember, once again, what emotions you put out there and what you speak into the universe, because it comes back. If I tell somebody I hate you, okay, if they don't know how to transmute energy and their philosophy doesn't give them a blueprint to ascend my misunderstanding, then they could display hate back to me. Okay? And so this is why you have to be careful with the frequency that you carry, because remember, just like sound bounce off walls, and you can scream down a tunnel and it hello, and it echo when it bounce back, sound goes in all directions. So if you wake up today and you're negative, you're sending a negative frequency out. Somebody's digesting that out there in the universe, whether you think they're not, whether you think they are or not. And this same person, because you in a bad mood, you could put somebody else in a bad mood and run into this person later that day and get into a fight with them at a red light on having road rage because you just sent your frequency out and don't even realize it. And so that being said, you have to be careful, because the world and the universe is reacting to us. It's not acting upon us. So if the world is in a hellish state today, that's because the people that's in the world is in the hellish state today. If the animals is going extinct today, that's because the people are making the animals go extinct today. Animals ain't just committing suicide and killing their goddamn self. Rainforests ain't chopping and burning down their goddamn self. And so that being said, we have to change our tune. And anybody that is on a demonic tune, okay, aka what we call the devil's interval. So I'm finna start saying that from here on out. I'm finna start telling niggas, yo, you on a devil's interval. That means you on a negative tune, okay? So y'all heard it first before people try to steal it, because everybody try to steal my swag all the time. But if somebody's on the devil's interval, they out of here. Let them go be on the devil's interval. But with that being said, family, now I'll end the video, and I hope that this video has encouraged you to become as peaceful and sound in your mind and in your heart as possible, and display that frequency with all living organisms in all chains of existence, whether it be human, animal, plant, insect, microorganism, etc., so that way we can all flourish and dance, play, and create, and continue to write the symphony and sound and song of the universe. And with that being said, I love y'all. Peace.